Imagine this. You're a lawyer who once wore the SAPS badge with pride. You served your country, you upheld the law, you fought for justice. And then, one day, you become the enemy, locked up without charges, isolated for months. And then, one night, a simple meal, chicken lickin', becomes a weapon. Not just any weapon, but a slow poison, designed to kill you without a trace. This isn't a movie plot. This is the real-life story of Advocate Teffo, the man who claims South Africa's justice system tried to erase him. Tonight, we unpack his shocking revelations, the poisoning plot, the prison ordeal, and why powerful forces allegedly wanted him dead. Was it revenge? Was it a cover-up? Or is this the price of standing up to a broken system? Let's find out. Before the headlines, before the chaos, Teffo was a cop. He joined the South African Police Service back in 1995, patrolling the streets of Pretoria, Sandton, and later working in detectives. But he wasn't your ordinary officer. He had ambitions beyond the blue uniform. While juggling long shifts, he enrolled for an LLB law degree, a grueling journey that saw him studying during off days, burning the midnight oil. It wasn't an easy road. Teffo battled strikes at universities, institutional mergers, and financial constraints, but he pressed on. By 2008, he graduated, trading his badge for a gown. From then on, he became the go-to lawyer for police officers facing unfair dismissals, earning a reputation as a fearless defender. But that same boldness, that refusal to bow down, would later make him a target. Fast forward to 2023. Teffo finds himself drawn into one of South Africa's most explosive cases, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, a case dripping with mystery, contradictions, and alleged cover-ups. From day one, Teffo didn't mince his words. He accused SAPS officers of corruption, hinted at evidence tampering, and even suggested witchcraft was at play in the case. For the public, it was shocking. For those in power, it was unacceptable. Then came the ambush. In full view of cameras, Advocate Teffo was arrested inside the North Gauteng High Court, a move many described as barbaric and humiliating. He called it a setup, and according to him, that was just the beginning of a much darker plot. Teffo spent 17 months in prison without a single formal charge. Let that sink in. Over a year behind bars, yet no case was ever brought to trial. At first, he was placed in single cells, labeled high risk. Sounds protective, right? But according to Teffo, this was strategic isolation, making it easier to control and break him. Life inside wasn't easy. Meals were served at noon, and that was it until the next day. Lights out early. Silence. The kind of silence that eats at your sanity. Teffo says the goal was clear: destroy him mentally, if not in a body bag, then as a broken man declared unfit to practice law. But someone wanted more than just his reputation destroyed. Someone wanted him dead. December 2023. It was just another day in prison, or so it seemed. A fellow inmate offered Teffo food. Chicken lickin'. Harmless, right? Wrong. That meal carried death in disguise. Days later, Teffo fell violently ill. His fingers began to show disturbing signs, nails rotting and falling off. It wasn't until a prison doctor examined him that the truth surfaced. Slow-acting poison, a method often used in silent assassinations. Not immediate death, but gradual, unavoidable decline. Who orchestrated this? Teffo has his suspicions, and they point to the same powerful networks he's been calling out. Rogue elements within SAPS, influential players in the NPA, and even members of the judiciary. Let's connect the dots. Teffo wasn't just any lawyer. He was a thorn in the side of SAPS leadership, a vocal critic of prosecutorial misconduct, and a man digging deep into a case many believe involves more than just petty criminals. He says his enemies are a mix of corrupt police officers, prosecutors, and even judicial insiders, people who feared exposure. In his words, they wanted me to come back, either in a body bag or insane. When the poisoning didn't kill him, they waited. But against all odds, Teffo survived, and now he's out for justice. December 10th, 2024. The day Teffo walked out of prison was symbolic. It was the same day another key figure in the Senzo case passed away. To Teffo, this wasn't coincidence. It was spiritual warfare. Now, President Ramaphosa has appointed a commission of inquiry into corruption within SAPS and the NPA, and Teffo says he will be the first complainant. His words, "Where General Mokwanazi left gaps, I will fill them." He plans to name names, expose networks, and lay bare the truth behind his poisoning and persecution. This story, as shocking as it sounds, goes beyond Advocate Tefo. It forces us to confront an uncomfortable question. How safe are we in a system where truth-tellers are targeted? Think about this for a moment. If a man who once wore the SAPS uniform, a man who knows the system inside out, a man who became an officer of the court, can be locked up without charges for over a year, poisoned, and allegedly marked for death, what chance does an ordinary citizen have? It's not just about Teffo's claims. It's about the pattern. A justice system riddled with leaks, scandals, and whispers of dark alliances. If what Teffo says is true, that rogue police officials, prosecutors, and even elements within the judiciary ganged up against him, then South Africa is facing a crisis of trust of epic proportions. A system built to protect us becomes a hunting ground for those who dare to question it. And here's the chilling reality. This isn't just corruption, it's survival politics. The moment you speak out, you paint a target on your back. Now ask yourself, if our courts can't guarantee fairness, if our police can't guarantee safety, then where do we turn? It's easy to dismiss stories like these as conspiracy theories. But history tells us something. Powerful people will do anything to protect their interests, even if it means destroying a man's life. Today, it's Advocate Tefo. Tomorrow, it could be anyone standing in the way of power. That's the bigger question. Are we living in a democracy governed by law, or in a state where justice is an illusion and silence is survival? As we close, let this sink in. A man who swore to uphold justice now believes he nearly died for doing just that. If his story is true, then this isn't just a scandal, it's a warning. A warning about what happens when power corrupts, and when those meant to protect us become predators. The questions linger. Who ordered the hit? Who supplied the poison? And most importantly, will these people ever face justice? Advocate Tefo says he's ready to name names, to testify before the newly appointed Commission of Inquiry. But here's the thing. Commissions have come and gone. Promises have been made before. So will this time be different, or will this too fade into the long list of forgotten scandals? What do you believe? Is Tefo a victim of a ruthless system or a man spinning a desperate narrative to stay relevant? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's start this conversation. And before you leave, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because in the coming weeks, we'll bring you exclusive analysis on the Senzo Meyiwa trial, the SAPS power wars, and why whistleblowers in South Africa keep ending up dead or disappeared. Share this video, not for clicks, but because people need to know what's happening behind the curtain. The fight for truth is not just Teffo's fight, it's our fight. Because when justice becomes negotiable, every citizen is at risk. Stay safe, stay informed, and never forget, the truth always has a price.